It's obvious that your character and the commander's character have this conflict going on. He was bringing up the fact that obviously your character's never going higher in the food chain now because there's no food chain left. And we've got the Russians who have sort of gone rogue. They're no longer really attached to their government. Would you ever lead a mutiny, do you think?
You can be captain if there's no other captain.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not necessary to consider that question. Certainly in the early going of this show, mutiny is out of the question. We have to save the world first. So the dynamic between Slattery and Chandler is one of peers among peers, mutual respect. Obviously the captain has the final say. And unless Slattery sees him doing something that's going to endanger the entire mission, he's with him, as far as we know. I haven't written the Bible on this show. I'm just a hired gun at this juncture. Have they told me where it's going? A little bit. But I think that is a really dangerous word to bring into the equation, and it changes so many things that I wouldn't approach.
It's certainly not in his character to want to do that just to get command of the ship. That's just not in the DNA of the character. On the other hand, as he said, if he sees the captain going in a direction that he really doesn't agree with, he is not going to keep his mouth shut. He is going to deal with it. And
it's his duty.
And it's his duty to do that. It's his duty to all the 216 people below him, as much as it is his duty to try to execute the mission that the captain sets. So,
and the captain would think less of him if he backed off from that. He needs that sounding board.
That's why he convenes. You'll see in the next episode when Chandler really gets himself into a pickle. They're sitting there in Captain's cabin like Jack and Bobby Kennedy in the Cuban Missile Crisis. What are we going to do? How are we going to handle this? Otherwise, he's completely alone. He needs that sounding board, and he expects him to speak up. Now, where it goes in the future, shows evolve and things get higher and higher stakes if you're doing your storytelling right. So, is it possible that could happen down the line? Sure. Sure or no, we'll see.
Speaking of the future, congrats on season 2.
Thank you.
Do you already have bits and pieces of that mapped out?
Well, we end season 1 with the series sort of lots of different strands in the air, and kind of really the whole show sort of turned on its head and headed in a vastly new direction. So you can imagine that where we end, those storylines need to be picked up and played out and worked through. So that is set. So you plan ahead in a generalized way, and then you allow for the creative process when you get together with the writers, and the writers are going to start writing the scripts for you to discover along the way, and that's the fun, fluid part of writing for television.
Well, it's a very serious show. Do you have fun on the set when you're not being all serious and saving the world?
Oh yeah,
he's the Joker.
Yeah, well, we have several Jokers on the set, and it's since it is such heavy subject matter, you have to keep it a little bit light in between takes, or at least in between setups. And we have a great group of people who work hard. They show up on time. They know their stuff, and everyone's in it for the long haul. All the cliches. I feel like I'm talking like a hockey player. Oh yeah, we all just we're committed to the team effort, and we need to score some goals, and we'll hopefully at the end of 60 minutes have a victory. That was cliches, but we really have this team effort. Everyone appreciates the job for what it is, and they have it. and they're going to make the most of it.
It was the hardest show that anyone had ever worked on. Cast, writers, crew, for sure the hardest. Between shooting on the Navy ship and we had to shoot many of the episodes out of order and long hours and long, big scenes with 9 people in them, and every time you do a scene that has 3 lines, but you have 9 people have to react to it, you have to shoot all of them. And it was 130 scenes per script on average, and a typical show has like 45 or 50. That takes a lot of time, and so everyone was really had to work together, or it wouldn't have
We're
worked.
doing 3 scenes from episode 9, 3 scenes from episode 4, and a scene from episode 2.
Today, right?
Today? Okay. Where was I that day? And the continuity was powerful.
Are you keeping notes and like what, sort of where your head is at in these particular scenes, or
Tried as much as we could. Fortunately, we had very organized creators in charge and letting us know where we were that particular day, which beats we were playing, where we were the scene before, the moment before became all powerful for us going into the scene. Well, what was my moment before? If we're doing that, this is 6 weeks ago. How does that play? And so it was a great challenge.